You straight up cuckooed that dude, bro. Oh my God.
You've got all your Charger gear on because
I look good. I got big energy every day. Let's go!
And he is dicked.
Blind squirrel finds a nut every once in a while.
That's right.
You have to love what you're seeing on tape if you're a Chargers fan, especially for the future with Justin Herbert.
On the move and throws and touchdown.
Players, coaches, staff, fans, together we can create something truly special.
Stay tuned for some good content.
Well, hello there, everybody. Welcome back to the Charger Chat. I'm your co-host, Wolldog, sitting with my buddies, Kev, Hug, and Duggan.
Oh my God, it's an Ekeler episode. It's Ekeler episode. It's the Ekeler
Boy,
episode.
he couldn't contain himself, folks. Don't forget Kyle, the coach, Duggan.
I almost shit my pants when Kevin said he was talking to Austin Ekeler. I was like, dude, good luck. I'm sorry. Like, I can't do this with you. I'd be too nervous. You're on your own.
Yeah. Boy, folks, I got to tell you, I've watched it. It's amazing. I don't want to oversell it, but at the same time, folks, you are in for such a treat. It is. This is our first active Charger interview on Charger Chat.
That's our first.
We're just shy of 100 episodes, and we got there. So I mean, it's going to be pretty damn awesome, folks. So stick around for that. But before we get into that, folks, we need to shout out a few of our Charger Chat brothers and sisters on Twitter. They've been picking up merch. We've got Slater MVP, aka Go LA Bolts. Wearing our faces on his chest with a big smile on his face. Like, I think that's the thing that blows my mind. Is like none of these people are being held at gunpoint to wear these. Like they are willingly wearing these shirts with our faces on them. Like,
and paid for it with their own money.
Exactly, their own hard-earned money.
Like I said, you get one, you will look fucking good, and he looks fucking good.
That's right, and he's not the only one. We've also got Scott Rydelski, who's wearing another sweet blue one. Those blue ones, man, they make it pop, man. They go so well with the blue hats, man. God, you guys, you both look great. So, thank you guys for actually purchasing some of this stuff. It's like so cool. It is so cool to see everybody wearing it. So, if you guys have bought Charger Chat merch, take a picture of it, post it up on Twitter. We'll be. I mean, it makes our day. Like, it's one thing to have the interaction with folks and to actually talk with people on Twitter, and that's awesome. But to see people wearing our merch with our faces and stuff on it, like it's
pretty awesome.
Like, what are you doing?
It's so cool. It's just a Boltfam. That's what it is. So cool.
It is really cool. So thank you guys for doing that. And thank you to everybody that's been buying merch. Go to chargerchat.com if you haven't yet. Check out some of the merch. We've got sweet shirts like this. We're all wearing some Charger Chat merch today, so check it out. We've got quite a few different styles, and we'll get some more styles out there in the future. All right, folks, looking across the other networks, the Chargers have been all over sports talk shows recently. Mike Tannenbaum, former NFL GM, has some strong feelings about Justin Herbert and our team. Let's see what he had to say.
But do I need to slow my roll on him? I'm calling for Justin Herbert to be the MVP of the league this year. Am I jumping a little too far?
Not at all, because the tape sets the floor, the character sets the ceiling. He is a high ceiling player, great work ethic. And last year, the Chargers were 31st in the NFL in pass protection. So they added 3 linemen in terms of 2 in free agency. They added 1 in the draft for Sean Slater from Northwestern. So with an improved offensive line, a healthy number of weapons, they have closed the gap, in my opinion, dramatically to the Chiefs. I think they can compete this year for the playoffs, and I don't think there's a big gap between the two.
Hercules.
Yeah, I don't see much of a gap either, man.
Wow. I know we get the preseason hype, but man, does it feel a little different this year? We've gotten it in the past, but it feels a little different this year.
Just a skosh.
Just a pinch.
Yeah. And wasn't Tannenbaum the one that said he would have drafted Herbert first overall?
Over everyone, yeah.
Over everybody, yeah. That's crazy, man. And he had it right, and now he's predicting that we're going to be, let's hope he's 2 for 2.
Playoff contenders, yeah, for real.
Yeah, that's so cool to hear that from on that big a stage. I mean, as Charger fans, I feel like we are used to the hype train going into the season. Off season, everyone's kind of like, oh, they got the talent. I don't know if it's just wishful thinking, but it is like this young quarterback thing. And I mean, we haven't had a young quarterback in like 17 years, so it's something different.
Well, and to correct him, we've actually added a lot more linemen. I mean, the only holdover was Bulaga, but we added Lindsley, we added Filer, we added Ibushi, we added Slater, we added Hymas. Like, there's a lot of fresh faces on that line.
Four of the 5 starters will be different.
Exactly. So it's it is exciting. It is great that we see other people pointing it out. We've been shouting it this whole time, but now it's hitting the main stage and other people are taking notice that, hey folks, we're going to be contenders this year.
Well, I don't know about you, but Mahomes wants to believe it when he sees it, or sees it when he believes it.
He'll see it when he believes it.
He'll see it, but everyone else is seeing it and they believe it. Mahomes, you're a dum-dum. Call back from last episode. You're a dum-dum.
Get on the trolley, Mahomes. You know where it's at. Everybody else sees it. Why can't you?
Get it together, you piece of...
You knucklehead. All right, folks. Well, now it's time to go to this interview I
just want to set it up by saying, like, I've interviewed Sean Merriman. That was amazing. But, like, we're sitting here waiting for Austin Ekeler to, like, pop up on the Zoom. I was like getting dizzy. I was like, oh my God, what's happening? So, but it got in there. He's so personable and so cool. And he just, he answered all the questions and he's very forthcoming and was very honest. So it was so great meeting him. So yeah, it's a good one.
All right, let's go to it.
As soon as that clock starts, your ass is mine.
When I met Justin Herbert, man, that dude is big as hell.
The goal is to just keep it rolling.
Come in hype because we have a lot of things to be excited about.
All right, guys, we are back with a Bolt Insight, and oh my God, are we lucky to have the one and only Austin Ekeler. What is going on, Ek?
Hey, Kevin, thanks for having me on, bro.
Dude, so pumped, so excited to have you. This is insane, man. It's like a dream come true getting to like chat with you. Like, this is insane. So let's kick it off, man. Like, the story of you going from an undrafted rookie to becoming the RB1 for our team is inspiring, to say the least. Like, it gives underdogs everywhere someone to look up to. Like, who do you look up to?
When I get asked that question, I don't really have a particular individual that I actually look up to. I never really have. I think it's because I've had a lot of good role models around me. So I think I've just been taught like a few, skills from many different people. But as far as what I look up to is more so an idea than more an actual person. And I think that's important because I think we're all our own individual and we all face our own, individual adversities and just challenges in life, right? We can't really like try to be like somebody because you're not them. You didn't go through what they went through. So as far as what I look up to, it's the story of what's my passion. How do I immerse myself into that? And then I look up to other people that are trying to do that as well. So the idea of, hey, how do I better myself to become the best version of myself?
Well, that's awesome. And you do a lot of awesome things. Like, your passions, you got a lot of stuff that's like between like the Gridiron Gaming Group, which is amazing, by the way. It's been so cool to see that kind of progress in what you're doing with that. And then your foundation, like, how do you juggle doing all these amazing things while also getting ready to be a professional football player? Like, it's a lot, man.
Yeah, it is a lot. But, on the surface, it looks like it's all me. But behind the scenes is an amazing team of mine. So they definitely make me look good. I'm the driver of it all, but they're the ones, pushing the cart. So they definitely help me keep my wheels spinning. So shout out to my team, my agent, my assistant, one of my other business, partners as well.
That's awesome, man. So it was so cool because I remember like the beginning of the kind of this before the season started and like the pandemic, and we didn't know what was going on. There's no real news coming out, but your Twitch stream started, and I was like, oh damn, X on Twitch. So I got to check this out. And like the insight you were giving us was so awesome because you were so genuine and so real about everything. And I remember vividly, like when you got hurt and you were kind of walking us through what happened. Like, it's amazing what you did for the fans. So why did you decide to start the Twitch and really open up to all of us?
Yeah, as I've gotten older and just, put a couple of years in the league, I just realized that like I'm so very thankful for people like yourself. And the rest of the fans and this community of the NFL, regardless of who you're rooting for, or even if you're not rooting for a team, you just watch because you like football or like some specific player. And it really opened my eyes as I continue to play. It's like, wow, like none of this would be possible if it were not for people coming to games, tuning in to watch us play. And to me, I just found this love to like, hey, I want to thank everyone. That's why I'm on this podcast right now, just to thank fans to thank you guys, because you guys allow me to live the life that I live today, where I'm pursuing all my passions and trying to help people now. Right. And so it's my way of saying thank you. That's why I started streaming. That's why I started my foundation. That's why I started Gridiron Gaming Group, to help other athletes and influencers, basically give themselves attention to their following. And so it's really just me coming to a space in my life where I'm like, I got to thank you guys, because you guys are the reason that this thing is so big. Right. And I think that's really special. And I just really want to give back, because I came from a little farm town in Colorado. And, I never imagined me, be talking on podcasts, playing the NFL, going into my 5th year. So, I have a lot of people to thank. I'm just trying to do it as efficiently and as effectively as I can by jumping on podcasts, helping the community, and jumping on Twitch.
Oh, man. Well, we appreciate it. So keep it up, because I love getting that alert you going live. I'm like, dude, I got to drop what I'm doing. Sorry, honey. Sorry, kids. I got something to do.
Tune in for a bit.
Chill out. Yeah, you chill over there. I'll be back in a minute. So I'd love to jump back a little bit to last season. Like, there was one specific moment that I thought was so awesome. And it was kind of surrounding when Justin Herbert's first start. And it was the, what did you say? It was like you straight up cuckooed that dude. Like, that moment where that on the sideline, it's like, it's so amazing. So what was it like, Justin starting and then him knocking that dude out on the sideline? Like, what was your mindset like?
Hey, I mean, didn't really know that Justin was going to be starting in the first place, going in the second game of the season. And then it was like, all right, well, Justin on the field, that's what we got to deal with, I guess. And so everything was very simple for that game, right? It's just say, okay, he wasn't really preparing as a starter, and then he just started having success and was continuing just to prove that, okay, yeah, this guy might have potential. Definitely made some mistakes that I would expect a rookie to, just forcing things sometimes, but he's trying to get the ball to his playmakers, so I don't blame him. But then, yeah, he trucked some. Well, he didn't even truck this guy. This linebacker tried to square up Justin on the sideline. And Justin's 6'4", 230 pounds, running full speed, real fast. And just a huge collision. And yeah, Justin got the better of that guy. I mean, I never want to see anyone get knocked out.
Yeah.
But sheesh, man, from a quarterback, you don't see it very often or ever.
No, for sure. Like, that was crazy to us, because that was like the prove it game to the fans. We're like, oh, dude, this guy's got some balls, dude. He's going out to these guys. So that was fun to watch.
Hopefully he's not trying to do that again.
No, we got to keep him safe.
Protect your body, man. Let us guys with the skill positions do that.
Yeah, amen. So is anything, like, as the season went on, I know you've talked about it before, but like, anything as the season went on that you saw from him and his development, because you guys started going on a run there at the end when you got healthy, came back. Like, it was just, it felt like every week we were just getting better and better and better. Like, what was that development like?
Especially for a quarterback, getting a year under your belt, I feel like it's massive, especially your rookie year, for just confidence. Like, oh, I can play at this level. And then getting that off season, the full off season that he just went through, and now we'll have preseason games too. It's gonna be a night and day, I feel like, as far as confidence and him understanding the offense. Not saying he didn't last year, but now he's like, okay, I've had time. I really understand. He's been sitting down with our new offensive coordinator, Coach Lombardi, and so it's like, hey, like, you're in it, you're running this thing now. You're not in the passive spot anymore. You're like, am I doing it right? Just focus on yourself. Now you're, hey, let's go, Justin. You know what's expected of you. So I think we're going to see some good progress from him that he's made over the offseason. We just got to keep him healthy. Just got to keep the squad healthy, because that's been our biggest downfall. Getting injured and then losing our consistency, and then just not being able to hold throughout an entire game. So I think it's going to be exciting to watch him, especially when we have fans in the stands.
I'll be there, man. I'll be there. I'm going to plan on not having a voice on Mondays, man. I promise.
Hey, that's the goal, man. Hey, I appreciate that. We need people like you in the stands, hyping people up, keep creating that energy, right? Because if we create that atmosphere in the stands, and it just makes it a fun environment for everyone. And people continue to come back and start to create that culture up here in LA, which we've been lacking. So we definitely need all that energy.
Yeah, we'll bring it, man. We promise.
Let's go.
So, it was an interesting offseason because the coaching change. And like, I always wondered what it was like from a player's point of view. Like, you were with a coaching staff for pretty much the whole beginning of your career. And then all of a sudden overnight, you got a whole new staff. Like, what is that like, just flipping overnight?
It's definitely different, because now you don't know what to expect from your new head coach that's coming in, or even in your position coaches, offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, anybody, right? So there's a lot of new relationships that have to be formed. A lot of just communication that has to be done, chemistry that has to be made. We got to understand what our head coach is trying to implement as far as his philosophy in the team. And, having actual in-person, off season this season definitely helps, because last year, luckily, we didn't have any coaching change, but we didn't have an in-person off season. So the chemistry with our, new teammates and stuff like that wasn't there. I didn't even know half the defense. Like, who are these guys?
Yeah.
This is how it was. Like, I would do meetings like this, like, hey, and I would never see any of the defensive players until they were on the field in their helmets.
That's so bizarre.
All the rookies that came in, I'm like, I have no idea who that is. It's crazy because I play in the same team. But yeah, it's real like that. And so it definitely matters, if we're in the building or if we're not. So the chemistry from top down, from, management to coaches to, player to player, has to all be there for, a organization to move forward and win as one unit. And I think that's, something that we need to, get better at, and also just get to, because even though we've had, an off season, we still need more time together. Like, that's in my opinion. Like, okay, we understand each other, but we have a lot of new faces. Just got a whole new offensive line as well. So there's a lot of chemistry. Like, we didn't do any full speed reps during OTAs because we want to get everyone to the fall. Well, guess what? The fall's here. It's coming up. We're getting ready for fall camp. So it's time to go. It's time to learn everyone. It's time to get in the same direction mentally and get moving physically too.
How that kind of makes me think, like, how excited were you when you saw, I loved a lot of our offensive linemen last year. Like, those guys were awesome. Like, Bud Heavy, dude, that guy's the dude. But like, when you see what we've done with our offensive line, like, there's some studs up there, and you guys, they went first round pick. Like, they're this is for you, man. They're going to make these holes for you. So what is it like, when they revamp the O line like that?
Hey, like I said, we haven't gone full speed yet, but they're paying these guys a lot of money. So I'm expecting some good things from the O-line now. I'll tell you that. If anything else, hey, we just got to protect Jay Herb, man. Yeah. And, we'll get some stuff done that way too. But no, I'm expecting big things from them. It's a good group of guys, just down to earth, ready to play football. And that's what I can ask for.
Love it. So, Brandon Staley, like, their Chargers.com has been posting all this awesome stuff on him. Like, he's mic'd up. He's like the interviews, like, he's doing like hour-long press conferences, just like really doing kind of what you've done, where you kind of open up and really tell us what's going on. He seems like a really special dude. Like, what's been the energy like? You haven't done much with him yet, but what's been the energy like? It seems like there's this new kind of page being turned with the Chargers.
Yeah. When he first came in, I asked him, like, Coach, what's your philosophy, man? Like, what are you about? Like, what's Coach Staley about? What's he want this team to look like? And it came down to two things. It came down to doing things and competing, always competing, and then doing things our way. It's like, our way, what the heck does that mean? And he broke it down. It's like, I have a standard that I'm going to hold you to, but I want to know your guys' input on everything too, so that we can agree upon how we want to move forward and do it our way. And I was like, let's go. Hey, if we're competing and we're moving our way, that sounds like a good thing. If that sounds like everyone's on the same page, sounds like everyone's happy, let's move forward. And then if it comes down to us, on Sundays, then I feel like I'm feeling pretty good if we're doing things our way and we're comfortable going into the game. We'll see how open that is when it comes to Sunday. As far as doing our way, I know, to me, that's always going to be, hey, we got to get our playmakers the ball. We got to put ourselves in positions where we can get Keenan in space and one-on-one. We can get me, running off the edge or catching some screens or some swing passes. Like, we got to put ourselves where we know our playmakers can make plays. And to me, that's what it is. That's the formula. And it's like, how creative can we get with that? Look at the Chiefs. It's like, yeah, they have a lot of great playmakers, but they also have the creative, play calling where they're getting their guys to the same spots, but just in different ways, right? Whether it's a shovel pass, maybe it's reverse pass, like maybe it's, Mahomes scrambling, faking one way, screen back. It's like, there's all these different ways. So I want to see some of that. I want to see some creativity in how we are setting ourselves up. I'm talking from an offensive mindset, obviously. Obviously, defense got to step up, get some stops, get us the ball back. But we got to take advantage and get ourselves some spaces. And so that's why Coach Staley is like, yeah, I've already seen it too, because OTAs, we're putting me in special spots. I'm over here, I'm over there. I'm like, yeah, this guy knows. He knows, get me the freaking ball. Get Keenan the ball, right? So looking forward to it.
Love it. I love it. So, like, with Coach Lombardi, like, that's just an exciting name to have as an offensive coordinator. So that's like, it's probably too much pressure on him for that, but he seems like a really great guy. What does that new offense seem like to you? Because, like, people are making the comparison. People are like Alvin Kamara, Ekeler, like top running back in the league now in this new offense. I know that's, nothing's happened yet, but it seems like that's kind of the direction that offense was really, like you said, putting you in places to succeed.
Right. Yeah, Coach Lombardi's so chill, man. He's just like, hey, look, I'm gonna call some plays. I'm gonna get you guys an opportunity to make a play. You got to go make the play. Like that's his mindset. And like I'm putting you. This play is for you to make this play. You got to make this play. And he's just so just nonchalant, just chill about it. And I love that. He's just like very relatable. He's not intimidating. He comes off as personable. And he seems like he's very approachable too, like on the field when we're just out there chatting, and I think that's great too, because you have to have, like, going back to what I was saying, you have to have that chemistry, right? So it's more than just a business relationship. It's like, hey, I actually care about you. You actually care about me. We're all here to do a job. Obviously that becomes first, but it's a little bit easier, just like in any other workspace. When you care about the people around you, it's like, okay, I feel a little bit more comfortable. I can ask some things that maybe I wouldn't ask. I'm not as nervous, to approach things and try things differently. And I know Coach is open to that too. He's like, hey, if you score a touchdown, you did the wrong thing, no one complains. That's what Coach always says. He's like, if here's what the route's supposed to be, but if you run it like this and Jay Herb's on the same page and throws it to you and you go down and score, hey, I'm going to go over, I'm going to say good job.
I love it.
See, that's what I love. I'm like, yes, sir, let's go. Let's make it happen.
I love it, man. So everyone's so excited for this year. Like, I feel like there's this like energy, like this like groundswell of like just more people are interacting with us. People are interacting with each other more than any of the years I've ever been a Charger fan. So like, what would you say to all the fans? Like, this is what we're going to get this year. Like, how should we get ready?
Bring all the hype you can. Bring it all, because, hey, we got a lot of things to be hyped about as far as like the new stadium, as far as new coaches. Jay Herb's coming off a great year. We have a lot of people come back off of injury. Derwin got a whole new O-line, myself. And so there's a lot of anticipation, right? And we got to go put in a lot of work. Don't get me wrong. Like the Chargers, us, like the organization, we have to go to work. But come in hype, because we have a lot of things to be excited about. And I think when you guys see us play too, that you're going to be like, yeah, like we're living up to the hype, because we do have those playmakers. We do have Jay Herbst who's going to be running around making plays, doing crazy stuff, and we're gonna need that because we got Mahomes in our division too. So we definitely got to be able to score some points to be able to compete in our division. And guess what? Scoring points is always a great time for fans too, because they get to see me playing the guitar in the end zone, getting crazy. So yeah, definitely bring all the energy, because we're gonna need that. We're gonna need all the energy, and guess what? We're gonna perform for you. If we don't, hey, we put that on us. That's us. That's our fault. If we don't live up to the hype, then it's on us. I feel like the opportunity, as long as we're healthy, is in our hands right now. And so it's up for us to live up to the hype and actually fulfill that and make Charger LA's team.
Well, we can't wait, man. I promise you, Mondays I will not have a voice. It will be the loudest 316 is going to be the loudest section if I can have anything to do with it. So we really appreciate your time, man. It's like really an honor for us to have you. So thank you so much, man.
Heck yeah, man. You have a good one.
That was so I fucking love that guy.
He's so good.
That was so awesome, dude. Like he recognizes like the hype, like, and why it should all be there. And it just get him the freaking ball. Just get him the ball.
Just get him the freaking ball.
That's what he needs. Give it to him.
Yes. That's what it's all about.
He just kind of like, he's just so all about the fans, which is so cool. Like what he's doing with his streams and all that stuff. And then him taking time to come talk to us. He doesn't need to come talk to us.
Nope.
Man.
We're not going to help hype up his whatever.
We're gonna
nothing.
We're people that follow
just
us
a bunch
will listen to it, but
only people that listen to us are people that already love Austin Ekeler.
Exactly.
Yes, exactly. So he just did it because he's an awesome guy. So I'm pumped, man. He's my first pick in fantasy. If I'm pick one,
unless I have something to
say
about
it. Of course, you're pick one. You're the commissioner.
Pick one, Austin Ekeler all day.
So cool, dude. It's just like hearing somebody acknowledge a grown man that plays in the NFL acknowledge, I only get to do my dream because people like you, us three, that are crazy supporters that buy all this stuff and go to the games. Yes. If it wasn't for that, then these guys, they're like, and in all reality, the NFL is all about the fans. The players don't exist without the fans. And it's just cool to hear a guy say that.
Yes.
And like give credit where it's due. And it's really, 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 it makes me that much more excited to go in there and scream and cheer him on and crash some beers on my head when he scores a touchdown.
No, and it's so cool too to hear him like get his little insight on Staley and what, we're always competing in our way. He seems like a different, it's not this like coach in a tower thing. It's like, and even Lombardi, what he's saying is very approachable. Like, they have to become family for it to work the way they want it to work. So that was very interesting. His insight.
It will be interesting to see. I feel like this is the new wave of coaches. Now, I don't know if that's going to be a good thing always or a bad thing. I think it's going to take a time to see like overall big picture what that looks like. But it's definitely moving away from my way or the highway.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I don't know. I've never seen like the way that I was coached growing up from my dad was he was very on this is the way we do things and you're going to do it. And if you don't do it, then this is what's going to happen. And that was great. And I feel like that has always worked. But with players changing in the NFL, like that's just not what they want anymore. Like they want to have a say in what's going on. You see it in the NBA, you see it in the NFL, asking for trades because they don't. Aaron Rodgers, perfect example, wants a trade because he doesn't agree with the GM. Like get the fuck out of here. Like 10, 15, 20 years ago, never in a million years would that ever work. He'd get cut, would never get signed. But we're moving into this new wave of football. So it's fun to see that the Chargers are kind of on one of the front end of this, like, no, this is our way. I'm going to put together this leadership team. I'm going to meet with you guys. You don't think we should go any 100% full speed drills in training camp? Then we won't do that.
Right.
Let's do it our way that we're all buy in. You guys believe in the program, the plan in place. But the problem is, the only thing that I can see is, say a guy, he goes, well, my way would be me playing the whole game. And you sit my ass on the bench. That's not our way anymore. Like, so then it's being able to be Brandon Staley and establish that at the end of the day, I am the
He is
top.
the leader.
I'm the decision maker.
Well, he's given them stock. The way I look at it, he's given them stock in the company. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like it's easier to buy in on. They're going to buy in because
he's
they're
still
professional
the CEO,
athletes.
but
how how involved do they want to be, and how much extra effort do they want to put in when you're actually getting to talk about how you'd like to do it, and then he takes that information and makes the decision. Like, I think that's a good thing.
It is. I'm just saying that there's still potential. There's no perfect system. There's still potential there for someone to be like,
sure,
well, I told you to do this and you're not doing it. So go f yourself. I want to trade. So I'm saying I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm saying it'll be fun and I'm excited to see how this really plays out.
Exactly. We're all along for this ride, this potentially new way of coaching. I think the thing that was also kind of telling, we're trying to put to bed the idea of like Gus Bradley sucked, Anthony Lynn sucked, like, and they're often doing their own thing. But you can't help but look at the way that he just told that story as far as being like, he's totally chill, totally cool, totally laid back guy. And like, and I can talk to him without being nervous. Right. Like, that tells me that this last coaching staff, you couldn't do that. You couldn't be in that situation. Now, granted, he's also got another, he's got more time under his belt. So he's probably got that feeling of like, I know what I'm talking about.
He's not the undrafted free agent anymore. Yeah.
But he's still saying that like, as if that wasn't the situation last year. Now I'm extrapolating off of what he's saying, but at the same time, it's like, I can't help but hear that. And again, just be that much more excited for what is potential to happen. He's about them setting up plays for different people. Like, this plays for you, make it happen.
Yeah. And we saw Kenneth Murray already say, or Andrew Tranquill, like, look, I was running down the field with Tyreek Hill. And now I get to play downhill. And like, you hear these things and you hear Austin say, like, I'm going to be running off I need to be running off the edge and catching screen passes.
They're putting me in different spots that I've not been in before.
That was and the excitement in his voice.
Exactly.
Said that. Yeah.
He didn't, and what he didn't say, I think everyone gives Austin Ekeler this like, oh, wow, this guy can do everything. He can run in the box and he can go in there because he's not a giant guy, but he can go in there and run with the big boys. But it's like, that's not what he should be doing, though. Like, that's not what he's built to do. Sure, every once in a while, sprinkle it in there. But that guy will get hurt, and he has gotten hurt.
And he has,
So it's like, it's cool to see someone excited about, like, these guys know where to play me. They're going to get me off the edge. They're going to hit me in screen passes. I'm going to play in different spots. I'm not an LT that's going to line up in an I formation and run the ball in the box, and you're giving me the ball 50 times a game. He knows that. And it's cool to hear that from the player, and hopefully it translates to the coaching staff.
Big time. Yeah, dude. What more can be said? It's just so awesome, dude.
The whole time I watched the interview, I'm like, this fucking guy is so cool.
He's so cool.
He's so cool.
I'm so glad he's on our team.
And just so positive. Like, it's so positive, so humble. You know, there's no concern about Austin Ekeler ending up on like the late night news going like, oh shit, here we go. Like, I mean, he lives such a rowdy lifestyle, was bound to catch up with him. Like, no, like the dude is just, he's awesome. Austin, thank you so much.
Thank you so
for
much
coming on the Charger Chat, man. We cannot tell you how much we appreciate it. We'll definitely be screaming for you when we're at that opening game. We're there for you, dude. But all right, folks. I don't know how we're going to follow that up. I guess we'll just go over to Coach's classroom or something like that. Here we go.
Good luck, Coach.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
That's right, folks. It's time for another rendition of Coach's Classroom. And for this week, we're not going to necessarily reach into any questions. We just had our first active Charger on Charger Chat podcast, so we figured we'd keep that train a-rolling, and we're just going to take a look at our man, Austin Ekeler.
This is the Ekelsode.
It is the Ekelsode, folks. Deal with it.
Kevin got done with his interview. He's like, Kyle, Coach's Classroom is just something on Ekeler. Go ahead.
Just something Ekeler related. I don't care.
Go.
He's like, we were all just we're so hyped after talking to Austin Ekeler and listening to the interview. Like, okay, we'll just roll with this.
Yeah, I mean, we'd break down a Twitch stream if we have to, but instead we're going to look more towards football and something that Coach is a little more familiar with. So what do you got for us today?
Yeah, so first of all, just looking at Austin Ekeler as a running back, you have to game plan for him in such a different way. You know, you have to have so many different checks and, hey, if he lines up here, we have to do this, or there'll be times when he lines up out, like we had talked about a couple of weeks ago, as an X. Sometimes he'll be an H, but out in the slot. Mm-hmm. Sometimes he'll be a Z out wide. Like, he'll be all over the place. So you have to have, and sometimes they're just disguises, and he's not even going to run a route there. He'll just line up there and run in, but you have to have a check for it. And it makes game planning for a guy like that so hard. For instance, if you put a different type of running back in the backfield, like a Leonard Fournette, and you put him out at the X, you're like, okay, guy, you're just going to motion into the backfield and you're not going to actually do anything. Whereas Ek, we could really run a play with him out there if we get the matchup that we like. So it just adds an element of game plan, preparation, and a little bit of a scare tactic. Like, are they actually going to try something that we've never seen before because they have a dynamic guy like that? Matchups, too, are just kind of a nightmare for a defense, right? If you're going to try to run man-to-man, you better have your nickel in there because we technically have like a wide receiver in the backfield. So our numbers for matchups are always a nightmare for the defense when you have a guy that can catch and run routes the way that Austin does. So it's just crazy, the element of preparation that a defense has to do because Ekeler's on the field. It'll be, we'll see how the cover 3 does next year against the Raiders, with the Raiders. But right here, I just wanted to look at the 3 aspects that I think make a great running back. First, you have pass protection. You have to be able to participate in blocking. You're a part of the blocking scheme at all times. So pass protection, obviously rushing the ball, being a running back, and also receiving. So we're just going to look at 3 clips really quick. I'll break it down a little bit and talk through kind of what I see and what I think that he does that's really at an elite level. So we're just going to start from behind because we've already established that that's where we like to watch it. So we'll watch it from here. Booyah.
Holla at your boy.
Holla at your boy. So obviously we have Ek here lined up in the backfield.
Okay.
You have your linemen here, and they're all communicating, talking about whatever the pass protection might be. Justin maybe shouting calls, letting people know what's going on. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys in the box. So before I press play on this play, right now there's 5 on 5, right? With Ek, or I'm sorry, 5 on 6 with Ek and these 5 linemen. Normally with 4 guys, you're going to leave your 5 linemen and say, we'll take our chances having a 1 guy extra double team somewhere so you can shift and move around. But if this extra guy comes in this specific pass protection, Ekeler had to stay in case you got some kind of a stunt or a blitz off the edge or something else going on. He had to stay in. So as you watch the play, Ekeler is going to sit here. He's going to analyze whether or not they're rushing 4 or 5, and then he's going to make a decision on what to do. So as we watch, Justin's doing his checks, talking routes, whatever it might be. These guys are setting up their pass rush. You see Ek just kind of evaluating the field. He's watching to see a 44 or a 31. You see his eyes peek over, See if he starts to come off the edge. So as the play develops, X sees, okay, only 4 coming. He sees 44 spying him. So he now instantly, his pass pro is 4 guys stay, I'm leaking out. He's now become an eligible receiver with 5 yards of space from 44. So he was a part of pass protection there. You could see in his hesitation step that he was supposed to be there in case someone comes. No one comes. I'm now going to leak. Now you have an elite pass catcher in the NFL as your check down. If Justin doesn't like whatever Justin's looking at here, if he doesn't like it, he knows he could come right here because Ekeler has 5 yards of space on a middle linebacker. So that's just some of the stuff that when you say like, oh, how is Ek in pass pro? Part of it is recognizing what they're bringing, seeing the defense, and knowing, okay, I got a free release. And did he release this? Did he release out here real quick? No, he knows I'm going to be able to beat this guy and use my line as a pick to get across the field. So a lot of that stuff goes into, it's not always just him coming up and blocking someone. Sometimes he has to be able to sit back there, recognize what's going on, and make the decision. A lot of this is also going into that idea that a quarterback has to get some kind of familiarity and comfortability with his running back and receivers. Because right now, say Phillip Rivers and LT, they're back here in the backfield. They played together for how many years? They both see the same things. And if this was Phil, he would know that LT sees what he sees. And he would check out right away. Phil in the back of his mind knows, okay, if nothing's there, I'm checking down right away. Where not all of that stuff is always firing on all cylinders right at the beginning of your relationship together. You might think that, but do you know for sure that X saw that and I'm going to be able to check it to him? So this is one of those examples where just as you watch the play and you see, okay, do this a couple times and Herbert starts to trust, yeah, X saw it. He's going to get out there. I know I have that check down and it's going to be wide open right away. That's some of that stuff that familiarity creates and getting comfortable, and Trey Turner getting beat on a pass rush that's hard to watch over and over.
That guy sucks.
It's one of those things that you don't see it. He didn't get the ball. Right. When you go back and watch him in pass pro, we're able to check that, get out. Okay, I'm a check down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's really interesting. One of the best things about Coach's Classroom is that when I watch football, it's just like I'm following the ball. Like most people, we're following the ball. We're not taking everything into consideration. When you explain it where the running back's job is not just to pass protect or just to run the ball, but to also like react in a way where like, if this happens, then I do this. Or if this happens, then I do this. Like that is even a consideration to me. That gives me such a much bigger respect for guys in those types of positions, like running back. And it just shows how well Ekeler is able to play in that position, given all the success that he's had with Phillip Rivers. And now that he's got Justin Herbert, who, as long as they continue to build a great relationship, should have that similar type of success.
Page. Yeah.
Oh, shut your mouth. Like, I am ready.
Yeah. And that's what it is. Like, when you hear all the time, like, quarterbacks being comfortable with receivers, it's like anyone can run a route and you can throw them the route.
Right.
It's being able to, when they have multiple options, when you have, hey, we see cover 2, I know this is open, what you're doing, just adjust your route a little bit and it'll be wide open. When you both know that they're going to do that, that's when that happens.
That's magic,
it's not just,
baby.
Hey, he's going to run an in and I need to get comfortable with how he runs it in. No, that's a couple days. You know what I mean? Like, it's in game time, seeing things, both being able to see the field the same way and making the same decision at the same time.
That's really cool, dude.
Yeah, it's
keep it going.
Football is definitely not as simple as it looks at sometimes.
Yeah.
Next, I want to look at a rushing play for you guys. So we looked a little bit at his ability in pass protection. Obviously, running backs have to run the ball. So a big part of that is vision. When you get the ball, what do you do with it? And now,
what do I do with this?
Now in the NFL, it's no longer just you run to the 4 hole or you run to the 6 hole and we have 18 guys going there and you just follow them. That's not what it is. Now it's, hey, we're going to zone left, outside zone left. Start heading left, and if you see a hole, that's where you go. Or inside zone right. If you start to the right, and if something opens up, go ahead, take a chance. That's that's what the running game has become is, hey, we're going to give you kind of an aiming point, but then once you get there, you better make the right decision. If not, we'll tear you apart in film. And that's really what the running back game is now is, hey, we'll start working this way and then make the right choice. So this clip that I pulled up also against the Raiders is nice. It shows his vision and his explosiveness. So he's going to start working towards the right place. But then something's going to go wrong. He makes a change in direction and just this is his biggest run of the year, 20-something plus yards. But yeah, so what we'll see, I'll run it through one time, just kind of at full speed so you can see it. This is going to be a zone. So what that means, there's no guards pulling, no down blocks. You'll see a lot of combo blocks. You know, everyone's kind of working together. When you look at the offensive line, they're all working together in their blocking scheme. There's no a guard pull, for instance, that would look like this. So say Trey Turner's lazy ass pulls and kicks out somebody, and then you'll get a bunch of down blocks. That's a more of a power man-on-man blocking scheme. What we're seeing across the NFL, across all football, is zone scheme. So everyone kind of zones to one way. You're all zoning this way, if it's a zone left, whatever it might be, everyone's kind of zoning. And then Ek has to decide what hole opens up. So he's got to sit back here, survey this box, and say, okay, I know what my line's going to do. Where's the opening going to be? Right? So that's like when you sit here on a zone scheme, he's going to sit here and say, okay, I know what they're going to combo and work up here. They're going to try to kick out left. Where's this opening going to be? Pre-snap, before the defense stunts or does anything, he's got to have an idea of where he's going. But then as the play starts to develop, you'll see this is what makes really good running backs elite, is you can make adjustments. So as this play starts to develop, you can tell it's supposed to be an inside zone to the right. Inside meaning inside the tackle box. Outside zone would be he's pretty much taken off on a dead sprint to the outside, and Justin would be sprinting out here to get him the ball. Or an outside zone here, he would be sprinting out this way to try to meet him and intercept him to get the ball. This is an inside zone. You can tell right away because Justin, his drop back is pretty much straight back. That means X pretty much getting downhill and trying to find an opening really quick. I'll play it again so you guys can kind of see how his drop back is pretty much straight back. So you can see right here, this is the zone block. They all zone this way, right? Mm-hmm. So we can all see this big, what should be an opening right here. Right off of Trey Turner is where the play is designed to go. So that's where he should be looking right now, is I'm going to make this step here, bring some defenders over, and then I'm going to put my foot in the ground and come right off of Trey as tight as I can. But what he doesn't know is Forrest Lamp over here is about to get beat, and he's going to cross his face. So now that hole that he was looking to get to, that was supposed to be here, now he's putting his foot in the ground. He's about to do this jump cut, come right over here, and then take off into open pastures. So as soon as he sees now his vision, he sees Forrest get beat. Now it's boom. Now I'm out. And now he's exploding up to the next level. All of that goes into one play being a successful, this kind of big time gainer.
Love it.
Here's what it looks like from the sideline. Jump cut, boom. That thing opens up. But if you don't see that, you just run right into the line and it's a loss of one or gain of nothing.
Go work, Jack.
That's impressive to have that kind of vision, because I mean, as we watch it from home, that's the angle that we're seeing is from the sideline. And there's so many times where we're just like, oh man, the hole was right there. Yeah. Why didn't you take the hole?
Right.
And
answer me. Go to your hole.
Go to your home. Are you too good for your home?
You too good for your hole?
Yeah. No, there's been so many times that's happened, and it's a completely different situation when you're on the field and you're faced with all of these guys like by feet. you know, it's not that overhead look. So again, just another testament to how fucking awesome Austin Ekeler is.
Yeah. All right. So, and then finally on this last play, we'll see X obvious receiving skills. It's what everyone talks about, and that's why he's going to go so high up in fantasy drafts. And he catches so many balls out of the backfield. Yeah, Kevin, we know. But Ekeler, you can see, is lined up out here. So whether you technically call him an X or a Z, whatever it is, that's where he's lined up. He's lined up as the outside receiver. You have Mike Williams down here in the slot. So it just adds that weird, like, what the hell is going on type of mentality to the preparation. As we start to roll the play, you'll see he jogs back in. Although right here, this is what makes Ekeler different. A lot of the times, like I said, like a Leonard Fournette, he'll start out there just so we can see what happens when he motions, right? It's a non-wasted motion. You're going to start him out here, motion him into the backfield, and you can see how the defense adjusts to determine if it's man or zone. But we don't have to waste that. We don't have to waste him just running him back in the end zone. You could do this little short motion that we're going to see, and it turns him into a receiver right away. So as the play, they saw it. He went out here, and who was lined up over him? It was number 47, Josie Jewell, inside linebacker for the Broncos. No one's heard of him. He's not a all-pro. Definitely should not be running man-to-man with
I think he was
Austin
a rookie, wasn't he? I want to say he was like their touted rookie.
I can neither confirm nor deny.
That's fine.
Yeah.
But
Can't do it.
The fact that I can't confirm or deny means I don't know a whole lot about it.
Means I don't give a
Kind of like Drew Tranquil being lined up with Tyreek Hill. It's kind of like, this is an obvious mismatch. You line this up, you're like, something's not going to work here. So we motion him back in to confirm, yes, this is man-to-man. And then as soon as he gets in here into a decent spot, we're going to snap the ball and we're going to run this rub route that is elite receiver route type things. One, Mike Williams does an excellent job. Right here, Mike Williams is his quote-unquote rub route, meaning Ekeler is going to use Mike to get open. So as you watch, Mike's going to run his defender into Ekeler's defender and create this huge wide opening for Ek. But it's not just like, oh, Ekeler, Mike did all the work. I've coached a lot of football, and a lot of kids will never understand how to run a rub route or how to manipulate another route to take advantage of. So as you see, when Mike starts to work upfield, he's going to run straight out and he's going to run his defender into the other defender. But look, if Ek hadn't run the right route, hadn't gotten enough depth, if he had stayed too shallow, it wouldn't have worked. If he had stayed right here at the line of scrimmage, it would have given these guys time to react up to it. He gets just the right amount of depth so Mike can stay in contact with these two. Ek's able to catch the ball, and then he's strong enough as a running back to be able to turn up and run through a linebacker. Nice. That's what makes Ek such a nightmare matchup. It's like he's an excellent route runner. He knows space, but once he gets the ball, he's a running back out in open space that even a linebacker is going to have trouble bringing down on his own.
That's so special.
Love it so much. I'm so excited for him this year, and hopefully he stays healthy and he can keep doing more of this all season long and line him up as the X, the Y, the Z, the H, the F, the whatever letter you want. Get him the ball.
And props to Mike Williams, man. I mean, he's not just out there making catches. He's actually running some of these special kind of routes. So everybody, tip a cap to Mike Williams as well.
There's a lot that goes on in football. Just because you're not getting yards or touchdowns or the big gaudy numbers, you could still be a big time contributor to your team.
There's a lot of technical aspects that not everybody can either understand or appreciate, but that's why we have Coach's Classroom, so that we can understand and we can appreciate. And we do appreciate it, Coach. Thank you.
We appreciate you,
yes,
Coach.
Thank you for shining a light on Austin Ekeler. We haven't shined enough on him yet, but hey, that's it for this Coach's Classroom. And that's going to do it for us here at Charger Chat. Any parting words, gentlemen?
Feed me the ball.
Feed me the frickin' ball.
Frickin' ball.
Feed me, Seymour. Feed me.
Feed me. All right. Yeah, folks, that's going to do it for us here at Charger Chat. Don't forget to bolt up, because we're ready for any squad, any place.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Okay, love you. Bye.
Okay, love you. Bye. And now, a word from our sponsors. What's up, sports fans? Let me ask you a question. Where do you like to play your guitar? Coffee shops? Concert venues? The comfort of your own home? How about the End Zone? Then come on down to Ekeler's End Zone Forum, where you can rock out with your jock out. Birthday parties, local concerts, high school reunions, we do it all. Ekeler's End Zone Forum. Don't delay. Shred those tasty licks today.